king that would not feel his crown heavy for him must wear it every day. But if he thinks it too light, then he knows not of what material it is made, and as such, not fit to be crowned king. It also happens that we have witnessed a crop of resilient men, true and visionary leaders amongst us throughout the history of Nigeria. One of such persons, as described, is the person of Bola Ahmed Asiwaju Tinubu, the current president-elect of Nigeria, set to pilot the affairs of the country with the 10th National Assembly after the 29th of May 2023. With this development, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, although not strange to Nigerians, has increased curiosity about himself among Nigerian citizens vis-a-vis wanting to know how justified the decision is to elect him as president. How much of him is really known outside grapevine information, and what manner of man he is.
Senator Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, and you know, this is a household name all over the country and even beyond the borders of Nigeria. In the Nigerian politics, the name Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a very dominant name, a name that connotes success in governance, success in the development of human resources, particularly developing career politicians and even people in other spheres of life, businesses and so on and so forth. And this is someone that I can clearly testify that he works all the time to ensure that he leaves behind a crop of people, a crop of politicians or businessmen, what have you, careers of different spheres to make Nigeria better. And of course, we all know he started from his base, Lagos State, where he was a governor for 8 years.
For 8 years, we were both governors. He was governor of Lagos State, and I was governor of Nassau State. We sat together for 8 years. Each time there was a national Council of State or Economic Council. We sat together. If we got called for anything, you know, either of these two, you know, we sat together. And over and above that, I was the chairman of the Governors Forum for those 8 years. And working with him over this period, I have found him to be a very, very intelligent person. He's exceptionally intelligent, and he has a way with what he wants. You can't fault him on that. For the 8 years altogether, we never had reason really to disagree. Never had reason to disagree. There was an experience I had that I can't help recalling. You know, during the crisis when there were killings in Lagos.
Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not an ordinary man. If you look at it critically, he's a man of many parts. He doesn't have one talent, he has many talents. He's a politician par excellence, perhaps the most successful politician in modern day Nigerian politics. He's a man with a large heart. He's a leader. He's a mentor to many. A man who doesn't discriminate. He's a pan-Nigerian leader. He's a thinker. And he's many things to many different people. I can't even begin to describe or outline his many attributes, or draw adjectives, or list his adjectives and who and what he is. I mean, it'll take us a whole day. But suffice to say that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a success story in many ways, and he's a man that is admired and loved by so many.
Very much. I think for me, I will describe him based on my experience of him, my contact of him, and my engagement with him. Between 1999 and 2007, he was the governor of Lagos. I was the managing director of African Petroleum in Lagos. So I had the opportunity of living with him and engaging with him. In 2006, I left, and then we formed a political party called the Action Congress. I was a gubernatorial candidate of Action Congress here in Nasarawa State. And then Fashola was the gubernatorial candidate in Lagos. And of course, so many others, including Oshimole and the rest of these other people. So I think that's to tell you how long I have known Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So I think for me, I have known him as somebody who is a calculated planner. He will plan for what he wants. He will be patient enough to wait for the right time for what he wants. And he will make a lot of sacrifices and invest a lot of time in doing that. So you can see that I have described him as patient, as somebody who makes sacrifices, as a planner of what he wants, and somebody with a foresight.
I will describe our president-elect as Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a man of the people, a detribalized Nigerian, a leader par excellence. He has left track records of good leadership, of patriotism for his country, Nigeria. And in a nutshell, I will describe his victory and this election that has just taken place as a divine providence.
Tinubu is a detribalized Nigeria. If you go to the southeastern part of this country, when he was the governor, he was the first, if not the only governor whatsoever at that time, that incorporated Southeastern to the governance of Lagos State. He made the Igbokwe, Joe Igbokwe of this world, the Akabis of this world. As I'm talking to you, since that time in 1999, they are still relevant today in Nigerian politics. If you go to the south part of Nigeria, go and ask Adam Oshiomhole how he regained his stolen mandate as the governor of Edo State. If you go to the north central part of this country, how's the George Akumes of this world, who is their friend on that side of this divide of Nigeria? If you go to the northeastern part of Nigeria, go and ask the Shetimas of this world, the current vice president-elect. Ask them, ask the Zulu, who their political partner and benefactor is. If you go again to other parts of the southwestern part of Nigeria, definitely Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a detribalized Nigeria, somebody who builds bridges cutting across the corners of Nigeria, south, southeast, north central, northwest, and northeastern part of this country. To the best of my ability, the best description for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a detribalized Nigeria and the discoverer of talent.
There are some schools of thought that propagate the atmosphere of lost hope for the country, while others shout, Eureka! Alas, the Nigeria thrives. Albeit with his emergence as next sacrosanct president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Nigerians have spoken. As chairman of the party on whose platform he contested the election, we were first to go and congratulate him and give him all the assurance that the party will work with him and will stand shoulder to shoulder with him. You know, and I wasn't surprised at the fact that he won the election, because I think the indicators were clearly there when the party nominated him as as our candidate flag bearer, and he didn't disappoint. He did well. The party stood by him, and we thank God Almighty. We are now writing the success story.
I attribute this particular victory to God. I saw God's hand in it from the beginning, right before the primaries, during the primaries, after the primaries, during the general elections, and even now. There's no way, no how anybody can say to me or convince me otherwise that God was not involved in this project. If you look at the many hurdles that were placed before him and before our party, ordinarily in the normal run-up play or scheme of things, he was no one anywhere in the world no party, no individual would have won this election. So much was stacked against him, but because of his tenacity, his sheer doggedness, his character, his determination, but more importantly, because God had determined that he was going to be the president, and that's why he's the president-elect today, and that's what I attribute. You asked me the question about his victory, and that's what I attribute his victory to.
This documentary takes a closer peep into the life's journey of a man who Nigerians will celebrate as their next president, succeeding the retired General Muhammadu Buhari GCFR on the 29th of May 2023 in an attempt to quell rising concerns, given the necessity of providing information that will propagate the thoughts of Nigerians in the right course.
While we still have problem of security, but it's not as bad today as it was before Buhari's advent of leadership and administration. So I believe very strongly that if one talks of renewed hope, if the hope we had reason for criticisms and what have you, and if there's any lowering of the rating of the spirit of that hope, he is giving us reason to believe that with his administration, he is going to continue from where Buhari leaves. And whatever we see as Buhari's legacies that gave us hope, he's going to continue with this. That's what we call renewed hope.
He's always an achiever. I strongly believe that he will build on what President Buhari has just left, and he will do tremendous things that will amaze not just Nigerians but the world. We are praying for him, and we know that with God all things are possible.
Who is Bola Ahmed Asiwaju Tinubu? Let's scratch history from the beginning. Born as Bolanle Adekunle Tinubu on the 29th of March 1952, his mother was Alhaja Abibatu Mogaji, a well-known merchant who hailed from Lagos State. Asiwaju is known to have grown under the auspices of his mother. Uncommon, it was the hands of destiny that journeyed him through his life and times. This was to prepare him for a life of struggle and fulfillment. It is known that he attended his primary school at St. John's Primary School, Aroloya, Lagos. He would later attend the Children's Home School Molete in Ibadan, Oyo State. In 1975, Bola Ahmed Tinubu left the shores of Nigeria for the United States of America in quest for higher and better tertiary education. The immense support he got from his mother, in addition to his saved earnings, enabled him pay his tuition fee through the Richard Daly College in Chicago, Illinois. Bola Tinubu's outstanding performance at Richard Daly College won him a transfer to the prestigious Chicago State University, Illinois, where he bagged a bachelor's degree in accounting and administration in 1979. Upon graduation, he took up jobs in prominent organizations in the US, and he grew professionally. It could be leveraged on his high level of patriotism and love for his country that saw to his return to Nigeria in 1985. He first worked with Mobile Producing, where he continued until his rise to company executive before his desire to serve the country germinated. The political journey of Bola Tinubu started by him participating and very often spearheading luncheons and fundraising activities for community development purposes within Lagos. Nigeria, in the late 80s and all through the 90s, experienced tumultuous times socially and politically, struggling with transiting from military to democratic rule. Sometime in November 1989, the then head of state of Nigeria, General Ibrahim Babangida, introduced the two-party system, forcing the existing 13 parties to merge into the two parties, National Republican Convention (NRC) and Social Democratic Party as presented. The first party primaries were cancelled owing to irregularities as announced in all media. A second party primary was held, conducted under the monitoring format of the Option A4 voting system. This time, it recorded success, and elections were held, which till this day is regarded as the freest and fairest election in the history of Nigeria on the 12th of June 1993. Sadly, it was cancelled by General Babangida. This bore rancor in the hearts of many, including Bola Tinubu, who together with similar minds birthed NADECO, an acronym for the National Democratic Coalition. It was a coalition or movement made up of Democrats that openly opposed military rule. Tinubu was a major force in the movement to democracy. Alas, General Sani Abacha took over the country in 1993. His death signaled a gate opening for the long-awaited rise of the Fourth Nigerian Republic by 1999. Bola Tinubu became the governor of Lagos State in 1999. Lasting 2 tenures as governor of Lagos State saw him emerge as one of the most prolific governors of his time. Needless to say, the records are evidenced all over the country, applying the idea of meritocracy in harnessing human and natural resources for socio-economic growth with unmistakable accuracy.
I believe Tinubu will work because he is into the system, he understands politics, he understands Nigeria, and my hope and my belief, I have hope in him that he's going to make a lot of things change in Nigeria. At least we have good roads, good structure, can see what he did to Lagos and other places that, I believe Tinubu will work.
My expectation, I expect the coming government to do well, more than the previous governments, and especially they should look at the aspect of the youth, because if you look at the rate of poverty in this country, it's alarming, and the only thing that can eradicate poverty is by employment.
He made history as governor of Lagos State. All the template he laid for Lagos State had been implemented, meaning the successive regime in Lagos followed the roadmap which he carved for Lagos, and that is why Lagos is where it is today, a commercial hub of the present-day African continent, the largest commercial hub of the world's largest black population. Now, in the development of human capital development, he has not only done well, he has excelled remarkably. He has developed individuals of different leanings, whether you talk of from Nigeria's ethnic configurations, you talk of religious persuasions, you talk of geopolitics. So this can be traced to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is why demarcating him became a very difficult task to the opposition element.
Lagos thus had been turned around socio-economically, making it the fastest growing economy in the developing world. No wonder he recaptured and modified the slogan of the late Moshood Abiola that ran, "Hope," to renewed hope as his new slogan.
Hope 93, where Chief Abiola contested. Now we are renewing the hope of greatness for Nigerians, to the citizenry and also the nation. We are renewing hope of the shortcomings of this present administration to build on the success, learn from the mistakes, develop on the mistake, and give Nigeria a new hope. You see, this administration has tried the area of agricultural evolution, real evolution, and what have you. We concentrate on that. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu regime will renew the hope of Nigeria. In other segments, this present administration of President Muhammadu Buhari might be lacking. So we are renewing the hope of Nigeria to a greater future, a greater nation, and a greater people of a great country.
Nigeria is a country of hope. We have it in abundance, but the hope is always killed. It has always been killed or near dead at every turn. And what Asiwaju signifies, what his presidency signifies, or felt should signify, was that this hope that many may feel has not actually been what it should be, is now being renewed. And if there's anybody that can renew your hope, I've seen it along, if you look at his trajectory, and people who have passed through his school of politics. Many of them have had their hopes renewed. I can give you names, people who have thought they were down and out, people who had thought that that was all over for them politically, people who were maybe even long dead and buried, that he renewed their hope.
I love that phrase. That phrase, renewed hope. I think it applies to two particular sets of people. One, the women, two, the youths. The women have been left for so long in the scheme of things. Our president-elect is very much gender sensitive. He believes in the contribution of women in nation building. He's a balanced man, and I know he will make up the lost ground in the election by giving more appointments to women and youths. Women are the greatest voters. Youths are a strong force. They are the future hope. And we have very, very qualified women across the 36 states, including FCT. We have very qualified young men across the 36 states and FCT.
Well, the president-elect appreciates the role of women as the true Amazons in the nation building. And they will play a pivotal role in his administration, certainly. The renewed hope vigor was felt during the campaign storm across the country. Women were very prominent in the Just Dissolved Campaign Council. This is a pointer to what they should expect from Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration.
With the slogan, Renewed Hope, embedded in Tinubu's program, it is further evidence that his desire to up the ante of the country's performance such that Nigeria could eventually be included among the League of Enterprising Nations is on course. There are many of his kind among us in Nigeria, but none with such intensity as found in Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Indeed, it has been a long walk to the presidency. He, along with his team, has come to change the paradigm as we currently know it.
I see Nigeria in 4 years gradually, slowly, but very steadily climbing out of the hole that we have dug for ourselves. And I believe Asiwaju is one person that can lift us from that very, low ebb that we're in now. I see Nigeria living in harmony, Nigerians rather. I see Nigerians, irrespective of tribe or tongue, I see them working together. I see that phrase, that line in our old national anthem, though tribe or tongue may differ, I see Nigeria standing in brotherhood. I see the economy of Nigeria improving.
If Nigeria gives us the opportunity, and a fair opportunity, give him time to get hold of the ropes properly, I see that we'll move from where we are progressively. I'm very sure of that. I'm very sure. Whatever areas we have achieved anything during Buhari's period, it is my hope and prayer that President Ahmed Bola Tinubu will improve on the scorecard.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been known as someone who engages and put together a very formidable team that will drive. So I think he has his eyes on the economy of the country, and he will do everything possible, based on that, to put a team together that will drive the economic development of the country. He is the first governor in the country that started independent power projects. And so I can see that most likely we'll begin to see solutions, to our power challenges that we have had in the country. Area of oil and gas, especially area of subsidy that we have, our refineries, and engaging the corporate world, the private sector, to come in and drive the economy of the country.
Let us embrace the new as we celebrate the old. Such a man who has been with us, never running or backing away from challenges, after every hustle, retires to Bordelon Street to rest. Philanthropy knows no bounds with him. He continues to write in the sands of time.